this face that circles time. I see where others stumble blind to seek a truth they never find. Eternal wisdom is my guide. I am the doctor.
And of course, I am the doctor, and the doctor is in. Yes. Whenever the doctor is in, then you know that it is time for your health and total well-being. Yes, it's time for you to know those things you need to know. It's time for you to be aware of those things you need to be aware concerning your health and your total well-being. So the doctor is in. And who is my patient for today? Who is consulting me for today? Who needs an injection? Are you scared of injections? Anyways, don't worry. It's a good thing that I'm here in the studio and you are there listening to me. So, if it's possible to telepathically give you an injection, I would have done that. Alright, good morning and welcome to the program Doc Talk right here on yours truly, solely for your listening pleasure, Vicky Lonia Radio. And yay, it's Friday. I hope that you guys have like a whole lot of fun lined up for Friday, because I have a whole lot of fun lined up for you. It's Friday, it's grooving time, it's shaking time. And remember the program this morning, Rooster Call. A little bit of laughter will go a long way, and put in the colors in life. Yep. And somehow today's topic on Doc Talk is a little bit related or has some sort of connection to today's topic on Rooster Call. Okay, I purposely made it that way so that everything connects and correlates together. Do we understand? Yes, I hope we do. Alright, so what exactly are we going to be looking at today on Doc Talk? First of all of me remains Vicky Lonia. Me, the queen of the MRC. I'm the one who's talking to you right about now. And the program is Doc Talk right here on yours truly, solely for your listening pleasure, Vicky Lonia Radio. Now that the mantra has been said, can we now go over to what exactly we have for today? So, what does Dr. Vicky have in store for you today on Doc Talk? Okay, you know me. Before I go over to disclose all that I've got for you, I always love to bring the action, and I need to know whether you are ready for the action.
Bring the action.
Okay, I can see it. We are ready for the action right here on Doc Talk. So today on Doc Talk, we are going to be looking at a health condition. It's not an infection, it's not a disease, but it's still a health condition. And it is called depression. 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 Depression is something that most of us really go through in life. It has to do with the mentality, okay? It's a sickness of the mind, okay? Right from the mental aspect, it goes down to the mind and it affects the body. Okay, so it's definitely connected all way round. Depression is not actually a disease, but trust me, I would really call it a disease, because when it begins to affect you, it affects every part of you slowly. Okay, so today we're going to be looking at depression, and we are going to be learning and knowing all we need to know about depression. Okay, the meaning, the causes, the effects, treatments, and all that, because it is actually a sickness of the mind. All right, it's a disease of the mind. It's a health condition, because when your mind is diseased, when your mind is poisoned, when your mind is not feeling well, trust me, your physical body will be affected. Okay, so depression is something that I really want us to look into, because it can affect our lives a whole lot. A lot of things contribute to depression. Okay, a lot of things. It's not a sexually transmitted disease, like I said. It's just something of the mind, okay? And anything that affects your mind affects your physical health. Great. So moving straight to the topic. Now, sadness and feeling down, sadness, feeling down, having a loss of interest or pleasure in daily activities, these are actually the symptoms that are familiar to all of us. We all know something about this, okay? But if they persist and affect our life substantially, it may be depression. Okay, sometimes in life we feel sadness, feel down, we lose interest in carrying out activities of the day because we feel a little bit down, stuff like that. It's okay, it's a normal thing. That's why we're humans, okay? But if it becomes a way of living, then that is depression, all right? So, and that's exactly something that we really want to look into. But first of all, I have some quick facts on depression, okay? Number one fact, depression seems to be more common among women than men. Number two fact, symptoms include lack of joy and reduced interest in things that used to bring a person happiness. Number three fact, life events such as bereavement produce mood changes that can usually be distinguished from features of depression. Number four fact, the causes of depression are not fully understood, but they are likely to be a complex combination of genetic, biological, environmental, and psychosocial factors. Okay? Now, those are the facts I really want you to know about depression. Now, moving straight to the topic proper, what is depression? Straight up. Now, depression is a mental health disorder, okay? It is a mood disorder characterized by persistently low mood and a feeling of sadness and loss of interest, okay? Self-explanatory. I had to really put it down that way so that I don't really need to explain much. Self-explanatory. Depression is a persistent problem, okay? It's not a passing one. The average length of a depressive episode is literally almost for a lifetime, if not managed. Now, what does not classify as depression, okay? So that you don't mistake sadness for depression, a mild sadness for depression. No, there is a time when you feel down, okay, and you get over it, and there's a time when you feel down and you cannot get over it. That's depression. So what does not classify as depression? Depression is different from fluctuations of the mind, okay, that people experience as a part of normal life. Temporary emotional responses to the challenges of everyday life do not constitute as depression. Alright, so likewise, even the feeling of grief resulting from the death of a person close is not depression, okay, if it does not persist. Alright, it's only when it becomes a constant and persistent way of life that it becomes depression. Depression can, however, be related to bereavement. When depression follows a loss, psychologists call it complicated bereavement. Okay, yes, it could come from that part or aspect of your life. Okay, now, what are the causes of depression? The causes of depression are not fully understood, like I told you before, but may not be down to a single source. All right, depression is likely to be due to a complex combination of factors that include genetics, biological, that is changes in neurotransmitter levels, environmental, psychological, and social issues. Okay, it could result from it could be caused by these factors I have just laid down. Okay, now some people are at a higher risk of depression than others. All right, risk factors include life events like death of a friend, okay, divorce, work issues, relationship, financial problems, medical concerns, acute stress. These stuff could cause depression. Personality issues, those with less successful coping strategies, those with low self-esteem could actually lead to depression. Genetic factors, childhood trauma, prescription drugs could actually lead to depression. Abuse of recreational drugs, including alcohol and amphetamines, could actually lead to depression. Okay, past head injury, people who have had an episode of major depression even at a higher risk of a subsequent one. Okay, and chronic pain syndromes. Okay, chronic pain syndromes like diabetes, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, cardiovascular disease, heart disease, disease, these stuffs and all that could combine to causing depression for you. Okay, so now that you know that, what are the symptoms of depression? Okay, how do you know that you are going into depression or someone is going into depression? Depressed mood, okay, reduced interest or pleasure in activities previously enjoyed, okay, loss of sexual desire, unintentional weight loss, insomnia, difficulty in sleeping, hypersomnia, excessive sleeping at all times, psychomotor agitation, for example, restlessness, pacing up and down, psychomotor retardation, slowed movement, slowed speech, fatigue, loss of energy, always tired, feelings of worthlessness or guilt, feeling this low self-esteem, worsened ability to think and concentrate, recurrent thoughts of suicide, and all that. You know that, okay, this person is really going into depression. Now, what are the treatments of depression? Depression is actually treatable. It's a mental illness, like I told you, and it's treatable. Now, there are 3 components to treating and managing depression. Support, number 1, ranging from discussing practical solutions and contributing stress to educating family members. Okay, learn to be around people who will support you. Now, we also have another treatment called psychotherapy, also known as talking therapies, where you get to be join groups who help you to discuss and get you out of your depression mode. Then there is drug treatments called antidepressants. Okay, they try to help you out of your depression. Okay, so that is basically it. I just really wanted you to know that depression is very real. Okay, and when you begin to notice these symptoms, I have just laid down for you, then you know that you are going into depression or someone else is going into depression. Okay, so it's a good thing that you know what depression is all about. It's not a disease, some sort of sexually transmitted disease or disease by skin contact and all that. Okay, once you begin to notice that you are always you're always feeling down, you've lost interest in life, you're always trying to commit suicide, a whole lot of other factors, you sleep a lot or sometimes you don't even sleep at all, and this has become a way of life for you. It's not just maybe a month stuff or a day stuff. It has turned to a year, 2 years, 3 years, come on. You know that this is depression and you need to go see your doctor immediately, because if you do not do anything about it, if you do not allow your doctors to help you, if you do not go for consultation and therapy, you just might end up committing suicide, okay, because that is the end product of it. When you feel depressed at all times, you feel this low self-esteem, you feel that there is no more need to live, there is no more need to live in this world, there is no need to be alive. Trust me, the next best thing is to end your life. And I don't want you, or you don't want someone else close to you committing suicide now, do you? No, we don't want that. The whole idea of Doc Talk as a radio program right here on Vicky Lonia Radio is to help you understand these health conditions, know how you can go about it, know how you can manage it, okay? And always make sure that you are in touch with your doctor, not because you're sick, not because you're dying, but because you are in control of your health, and you need to make sure that you are stable, because when your health is not stable, your wealth is not guaranteed. Perfect health is perfect wealth. The real wealth of a man is his health. Okay? Now, the earlier you understand that, the better for you. Alright, that's all I've got for you right here on Doc Talk today. So, make sure that you are not falling into depression and someone else is not falling into depression. But when you begin to notice that this stuff, depression is coming, hit your doctor immediately, or tell that friend of yours to go to the doctor. And try as much as possible to add a little bit of laughter to your life, because it only brings more colors to your life. Alright, that's all I've got for you today once again, and thank you so much for being a part of the show. Please make sure you share this podcast to some other person out there. Put it on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Somebody might really want to know what depression is all about. And do not forget that at one time or the other, you always need a doctor. Ciao now.
In black hope, I just need a red eye, 'cause no one sees my vision when I play it for them. They just say it's whack, but they don't